She laughed at me in front of everyone at her engagement party, right after calling me just jealous. Little did she know, her fiancé was about to discover a secret that would freeze her smile and completely changed the way everyone in that room saw me. If you've ever been underestimated, belittled, or mocked by someone you love, hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, and stay until the end because this story isn't just about revenge. It's about being underestimated and proving your worth in the most unforgettable way. I still remember the exact moment I realized my sister could be cruel in a way that left scars deeper than words. Her engagement party had been months in the making, a huge, flashy affair with all our extended family and friends invited. I had gone expecting the usual polite interactions, the small smiles, the obligatory congratulations. But what I got instead was a performance of mockery I didn't see coming. I arrived wearing a simple but elegant dress, thinking I'd look presentable without trying to outshine her. My sister, however, had already made the night about herself as expected. She was the perfect hostess, sparkling jewelry, carefully rehearsed laughter, her fiancé dangling adoringly by her side. Everything was picture perfect, except the moment she decided to turn the spotlight on me. She found me near the dessert table and, in front of several cousins and her close friends, leaned over with that sharp, practiced smile and whispered, "She's just jealous, you know. That's all she ever is." It wasn't just the words, it was the way she said it, like she was revealing some deep, humiliating truth about me that everyone needed to know. Her laugh, light, carefree, cruel, echoed in the room as I froze, the sting of humiliation crawling over my skin like fire. My hands tightened around my purse, my stomach twisted, not just in embarrassment, but in anger. For a split second, I considered storming out, but something inside me refused to give her the satisfaction. I let the moment pass, smiling politely to others, but my mind raced with thoughts I didn't voice. She thinks she can define me. She thinks she can make everyone see me as beneath her. She's wrong. The party continued. Everyone danced, posed for photos, drank champagne. But I stayed close to the edges, observing. I noticed how perfectly she orchestrated attention, how carefully she maneuvered conversations to subtly ridicule me. A casual comment about my job here, a sharp laugh there, everything designed to diminish me without anyone realizing she was doing it. I remembered every time she had laughed at my achievements over the years, every tiny barb hidden in a joke. My sister was clever, and she thrived on the idea that I was small, insignificant, and somehow inferior. That night, though, I knew it was time to let her overconfidence be her downfall. Her fiancé, by contrast, seemed oblivious to her games. He was polite, attentive, but disengaged from her subtle manipulations. Yet, as the evening went on, I noticed him stealing glances at me, curious glances, polite nods, not mocking ones. I filed that away. Then came the turning point. It wasn't planned, and it wasn't me who triggered it directly. After a toast, he wandered over, slightly awkward, holding his phone. I was talking to a cousin about a charity I'd been helping run, a project I had poured years of time and money into. The conversation was casual, but my sister, ever the eavesdropper, immediately tried to interject, twisting my words, making them sound like pretentious bragging. Her fiancé, perhaps sensing the tension, excused himself and quickly typed something into his phone. A few seconds later, his eyes widened, and his mouth dropped open just enough that a gasp almost escaped. He hadn't meant for anyone to see, but he was standing just a few feet from her. And then it happened. The screen lit up with a figure that froze her smile. Not a casual salary range, not a modest savings account. A net worth. My net worth flashed boldly on his phone. $11 million. I watched her face change in real time. First, disbelief, then confusion, and finally, sheer panic. Every ounce of mockery, every whispered barb, every condescending laugh she had aimed at me over the years, suddenly felt absurd to everyone around. The room seemed to tilt slightly as if reality itself had realigned. Her fiancé, who had no clue about our sibling dynamics, looked at her questioningly. "Wait, is this really her?" His voice was calm, but it carried that undeniable mix of shock and awe. She stammered, searching for words that would excuse her behavior. I could see her scrambling for explanations, in her eyes her polished confidence, the one she had spent years honing, shattered in a matter of seconds. She had built her whole social identity on appearing superior to me. And now the universe, or perhaps just her own hubris, had turned the mirror back on her. I smiled softly, almost imperceptibly, but inside, a rush of vindication pulsed through me. I didn't need to say anything. I didn't need to confront her. The numbers did all the talking. Over the next few moments, the dynamics of the party shifted. People who had once quietly chuckled at her little digs now looked at me with a mix of respect, surprise, and curiosity. I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Years of feeling underestimated, dismissed, and belittled had suddenly been acknowledged, not through argument, not through confrontation, but simply by the truth manifesting in the right moment. Her fiancé, after confirming the figure a few times, excused himself and whispered to me later, "I had no idea. I can see why I see why she acts this way. But you, wow." The irony was delicious. The person who had mocked me the most in that room was powerless to recover the narrative. Every word she had said to diminish me was now a testament to her insecurity. And me? I had simply remained myself, calm, composed, and successful, letting reality do the heavy lifting. After the party, my sister tried to apologize, but it came off hollow, rehearsed, and desperate. I accepted her words politely, but I didn't need closure. My satisfaction didn't come from humiliation, it came from justice, from the universe aligning with fairness in a way that didn't require malice. I reflected on it later that night. Revenge doesn't always need to be loud, dramatic, or cruel. Sometimes the most satisfying form of justice is quiet, inevitable, and undeniable. It's the truth, revealing itself at the exact moment when someone believes they have power over you. And that's exactly what happened. My sister's mockery, intended to diminish me, instead highlighted her own envy and insecurity. The numbers spoke louder than words, and in that moment, I didn't just feel vindicated, I felt liberated. The climax wasn't a confrontation. It was the frozen smile, the wide eyes, the subtle gasps of guests realizing the power dynamics had flipped. She couldn't laugh it off. She couldn't redirect attention. The room had witnessed a quiet, undeniable truth. Underestimation has consequences. I left the party that night feeling lighter than I had in years. I realized that sometimes the best revenge isn't planning elaborate schemes. Sometimes it's simply becoming so strong, so accomplished, that the people who doubt you are left stunned by reality itself. We all face people who try to diminish our worth, friends, family, colleagues. But the most satisfying justice comes not from retaliation, but from achieving success so undeniable that their judgments collapse under the weight of truth. If you've ever been mocked, underestimated, or overlooked, remember, success is the ultimate revenge. Share your own story in the comments. What's the most satisfying way you've ever proved someone wrong? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story if it gave you that sweet feeling of justice served.